Hello and welcome to MG11. Our mission is to build profitable businesses so that we can have financial freedom, time for our families, and make an impact in our communities. Let's kick it off with some big wins. Daryl, would you lead the way, please?
Yeah. As you know, the last few weeks I've been spread thin over several huge jobs, but we're getting a couple of them wrapped up today or this week actually. So that's been really good. But on another level, well, two of my guys worked Saturday on one of those jobs inside, and I told Will, one of my guys, I said, "Hey man, I'm gonna give you a task." I said, "After you guys get some of our area cleaned up here, I'm gonna have you do a video, do a walk around. You've seen a lot of my videos. I said I'm gonna trust you to do one." And he was really nervous, and he did it. He said exterior painting instead of interior painting, but it was just cool. So I'm still gonna post it today. So
Yes. Okay, right on. Fantastic. Thank you, Daryl. Bryce, good morning. Big wins.
Good morning. We've got most of January filled up in the schedule,
Nice.
which is awesome.
Very
And
nice.
funny enough, I leave tomorrow for a week vacation to Hawaii, and I have projects lined up for all the guys, and payroll's already in the bank, and I have not had a week-long vacation since high school.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
yes. Well done. Well done. Indeed. Thank you, Bryce. Isaac.
Yeah, so I've got two employees now, and it's been really cool because I've finally been able to step away from the roller and brushes a little bit and shoot some pictures and social media content and start to grow the business that way.
Mm-hmm.
One of my guys is a total rock star, and I could definitely see him becoming a lead, so that's really exciting. And so heading in a good direction.
Fantastic. Way to be, Isaac. As we were saying
Thank you.
before, we got going. It's fun watching you grow. You're already tripling, I think. So good
Thank
job,
you.
my man. Speaking of great job, Florin, big wins.
Hey guys, big wins. Just did my Christmas cards. They're all ready. There's the last file pretty much. And that's actually the last file means like for the clients that didn't get a business,
Mm-hmm.
still the thank you card going, no matter what. I don't
There
care.
you go. Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes,
people
sir.
might be like, okay, the guy doesn't work for us, but you never know what is in their neighborhood or neighbors, whatever they have friends.
Mm-hmm.
So January, it's okay. I have 1 week which is like still empty as a spot, let's say. But I have two estimates on 27th and on January 3rd. So I'm pretty much I feel confident that I'm gonna fill that spot that week.
There you go.
So that's pretty much. I'll try to finish those two those projects
Mm-hmm.
probably by the end of the week, so I can close my year, and that's it.
Okay. All right. Right on. Thank you,
Thank you.
Florin. Juan, big wins.
Morning, big wins. So I got introduced to my Rotary Club last week,
Mhm.
and I have a meeting with the interior decorator end of the week. So I may get that going,
Yes.
which
Okay.
is
Fantastic. Glad to hear that. Rotary and interior decorator. Way to be.
Yeah.
Steven.
Good morning. But we sent out over 1,000 Christmas cards for the holiday. It didn't matter if we painted them or not. It's just people that we've done business with one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an awesome way of
Mm-hmm.
getting out. But we're kind of rolling. We got 3 jobs booked out today, and we'll be rolling through the end of the year.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
3
Fantastic.
or 4 jobs. It's kind of just flowing in.
Mm.
I'm not advertising. They shut everything off. So it's just,
Mhm.
I can't say crazy. It's a little creepy quiet, but
Yeah.
everyone's moving.
There you go. Good deal. I'm glad to hear it, Steven. Thank you. Hey, Seuss.
Oh, Steve. Yes, my big wins here, guys, is automatic email set up for my warranty, and then the 2024 scoreboard is completed for my goal.
Yes. Way to go. Way to get that filled out. Fantastic. Thank you, Jesus. All right. The caffeinated Canadian painter, Craig. Big wins.
Big wins were last week. I was on vacation with my wife to Quebec City, and the crew held it together, and they got some work done in my absence. And yeah, so it went well. And also Christmas cards went out. I had one of my painters who has his handwriting's like a typewriter. I had him like address all the Christmas cards so that they could go to their destination.
There you go. So they arrive.
Yeah. If I did it, they might not arrive.
I might get one.
Yeah. I get it. Okay, that's fantastic, Craig. Thank you. Sonia, welcome to the show. Big wins.
I finished out a couple of jobs on last week, so that's going good, and have 3 going on right now. So
Mhm.
doing good.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. All right, what is one thing we could brainstorm for you such that might make everything else easier and or unnecessary? Daryl?
Yeah. Okay. So I've got maybe a small twist in mind. Because we talk a lot of business on here. We talk healthy in our MG11. So I want to talk healthy here for just a second. So whether I'm working in the field or I'm just running jobs all day and I'm not home for lunch, I've been going without lunch probably three days a week usually, or I'm eating late because I don't eat fast food. I don't touch McDonald's unless it's an oatmeal for breakfast or something. I don't do cheeseburgers out. I don't do none of that stuff. I do have a little refrigerator that I keep with me. And I tell you what, I've been struggling with trying to find a consistently healthy lunch pack that I can put together in my refrigerator because it can stay in my truck all the time. And man, I'm finding myself going without lunch 3 days a week sometimes because I get burnt out on the peanut butter and jelly or whatever. And I don't know if you guys are doing anything, any ideas. I'm open.
So I'll share. I prep every weekend. Either I or April will do it for me, and cook like 12 pounds of chicken. Throw some lemon, pepper, salt on it, and throw some coconut oil and some rice. And I whip up 12 pounds of chicken and a bunch of rice and or fruit. And I have, excuse me, Tupperware dishes, and I box them all up. I'll keep a rotation in the fridge and then put the rest, excuse me, in the freezer. And that's what I eat. Even though, like, when I go to my office downtown, I take it with me. There's a Firehouse Subs right next door, which is tempting. Maybe once a month I'll hit it, but it's like, 1,600 calorie sandwich. I'm like, oh man. So I eat chicken and rice. And people say, don't you get sick of it? I'm like, well, I remember I forget who said it. I eat for fuel, not for pleasure, and to try to take care of my body and get the protein that I need every day, and the right amount of carbs. So that's what I do.
Okay.
I highly recommend. I've had a health journey for a really long time, and I'm somebody that follows keto pretty hard. Not perfect, but what I really have had a lot of success with is you can go to the grocery store and they sell resealable packages of like salami and things like that. And they'll have some of them that will have like lunch meats that are wrapped over top of like a mozzarella cheese or something. Those are fantastic. And then also I highly recommend, there's a company that's called Good Culture, and they make non-pasteurized cottage cheese. And cottage cheese is fantastic for you because it's got 0 sugar and it's extremely dense in protein. Okay. So those are my go-tos.
Yeah. The thing, I was doing lunch meats for a little while, but my little area, I'm really picky with my lunch meats because they pack it with salt and everything else. There's a couple brands. So when I'm out of town, I'll buy a thing of lunch meat and bring it. But I've never heard of Good Culture, so I'm gonna look into that too. I appreciate that.
Soy curls. I'm primarily plant-based, so soy curls are very high in protein, and they're dehydrated just soy, and it's not your processed like tofu. And the texture, I don't like tofu because it's kind of like the texture is not good, but you just throw it in. You can do it in like a warm, it kind of is like chicken, but I mean, you can try it, just FYI, little thing out there.
Well,
so
I ate plant-based for a couple of years.
You what?
I ate plant-based for a couple of years. Yeah, when I was trying to do, so I know some of the meals.
Well, so that one's really, that's a really cool discovery because you can just hydrate it. Like if I had, one of those thermoses and you have hot water in it, you can just pour that over it and just let it soak. But you don't even need that. But if you want warm, and then you can add whatever you want in there since you're already familiar with it, and voila, in 10 minutes it's ready, and a lot of protein right there too.
Yeah, because I need to pre-plan my week on lunch. I think that's what's really kicking my butt is I'm not planning a week ahead of time. And like this morning, I think I'll be back home for lunch today. But if I'm not going to eat lunch today. So I appreciate you guys. It gave me a lot of ideas.
Okay, right on. Thank you, Daryl. Bryce?
We're trying to figure out how to get to rely more on the work order. And then also I had kind of like a moment where one of the last jobs that I did, I realized that I didn't write the work order. I didn't write the estimate as clearly as I should have. So when I transferred it to a work order, it wasn't as clear as it should have been. But even on top of that, there were 2 closets listed. And by the time like I caught up to the fact that they hadn't interpreted the work order correctly, they had already painted 4 closets and they were the wrong closets. And it was like, oh gosh, how much wasted time was that? Wasted time and paint and things like that. And so trying to get the crew comfortable with, hey, before you call me, did you check the work order? And I've been trying to practice the
9-minute rule.
calling them 9 minutes later.
Okay, so the issue is not the 9-minute rule. Hold on. So I hear 2 things, trying to get them not to call you up, but is the issue really that you just need to slow down and clarify work orders?
I think so. I think it's making sure that it's trying to just get them to where that's the first question or that's the first thing they check instead of trying to just, call Bryce.
Yeah, I used to do this. I used to just assume that they knew, and one of my leads finally came to me. He says, "Listen, we don't know how to tell you, but like a lot of times we're guessing here, and we feel kind of foolish because we have to ask the customer, some details, because we're coming from the curse of knowledge. We're like, oh, well, they'll know what to do here and there. We just write kind of bullet points, but if we don't slow down and put all that in, then this is what happens. So something else that I did is, I'd say, okay, paint these 2 closets. Then I would also say, do not paint the other 4 closets.
Yeah.
All right. Just to double confirm what we are to do and what we're not to do.
Yeah. Hey, Bryce, I had a hiccup yesterday that was on me. I put all my proposals on Monday.com. I don't edit them for my team. They see exactly what I give the client. And I bid on an $800 bedroom that we're painting a $10,000 bathroom in, next to it. And I called in 3 gallons of super paint flat white because we're painting ceiling and walls same color except for an accent wall. Anyways, I get there, they're already first coat and working on the second coat, and I noticed that the manager called in satin, or he made satin when I called in flat. So we had to repaint this bedroom, which means we have to do it today because it was not dry enough yesterday. So it backed me up, cost me a couple $100 at least. But my team have been getting in a hurry too, because they see me getting in a hurry. And so they're rushing. They didn't stop to take the time to look through Monday to make sure that we're supposed to use satin and not flat versus the other way around. So it's kind of my fault because I didn't slow down to just remind them, hey, look through Monday.com, make sure that we're using the right sheen, the right color. Because sometimes Sherwin messes up. Because when I call in paint and then somebody else goes and picks it up, nobody's verifying, or that wasn't verified that it was the right paint. So that was on me. So that's one thing that I'm going to do. And I told him, I said, hey, I'm not mad. It happened. In fact, I had a good attitude about it. I can't believe it. But I was like, hey, this goes to show you that I've been running too fast for too long. We need to slow down, look at Monday.com before we start buying paint or before we call it in. It was a learning lesson. So that's what I'm doing.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm sure you would have picked it up if you had a good lunch that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts for Bryce on clarifying work orders?
It's tough because we actually I go through it every morning with them before they leave, like a punch list of what they need. And even still, I have them take photos at lunchtime, send me photos and videos of what's going on. And even then, it's just it's the nature of the business. It's just I don't know, same thing. I shake my head every day and say, wow. So I was wondering if anybody had a system when you charge them back when they make mistakes after you explain to them, show them, draw pictures, all
No.
kinds of things.
Oh,
Anybody have a
no.
solution to charge them back? Because
No, you can't. You don't do that. Instead, you follow the progressive disciplinary procedure if you need to, but you don't charge them back.
Bryce, what are you using for estimating software?
Script jobs.
Okay. Because like I know with Paint Scout, and that's what I use. It has your substrates, it has your measurements for the rooms. You know what you're doing for if you're doing closets, if you're not doing closets, if you're doing like linear foot of baseboard, how many window frames, what side of the door, how many sides, one side, two side. And then even in the work order portion that it creates, there's a portion to make notes too as well. So if you want to be specific about something that's not on the estimate side that you just want for the work order for the guys, I make notes in there too as well. It seems to work well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, let's move along here. Isaac, you're up.
Yeah, so I was hoping you guys could help me out. One of my guys is doing great. The other, I mean, hard worker, but there were some red flags that I ignored, and it's coming back to bite me. And so I want to let him go. And I've got this other guy that I was planning on hiring in January anyways, that I think he'll be a good fit. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I be a good leader and like, I don't know, I want to let him go, but he's also got kids, and it's like right before Christmas, and I don't want to like ruin the culture that I've got going well with my other guy. And he's just been off for like a week and a half with COVID, and then just all sorts of texting stuff that's just driving me nuts. And I don't know, I guess long story short, I'm wondering, like, how do you in a kind way let somebody go and have it, I don't know, go well for you without them doing all the like bad reviews on Google and unemployment, and I don't know.
What is he doing that's making you want to let him go?
It's mostly attitude and like wanting to leave early, and then all these, when I needed to change my policy manual because of lots of stuff he was doing, and he's like, well, what if I don't sign it? Are you gonna fire me? And just like, what the heck?
That's an issue.
yeah, the answer is yes. Get out.
Yeah. Well, and now it's like, so he's just coming back today after being gone a while. Now I'm all stressed out, like, man, I don't even want to like be there because he's gonna be there, and I feel like I did this to myself, but I'm just trying to figure out the best next steps.
Well, make sure you have a position agreement form. I don't know if Steve's helped you out with that or not, but that helps cover your rear end, you know, versus just firing somebody on the spot as far as them collecting unemployment on you. Not to say that he doesn't deserve it, you know, just because he's being a butt doesn't mean he doesn't deserve unemployment. But if you document everything like I didn't do a couple years ago, I almost had to pay unemployment on somebody that absolutely did not deserve it. So I edited the position agreement form that Steve gave me, and now I have everything written down, what our clear expectations are. That way we can do a verbal, we can do a written, and that way if I do have to fire him, I've already got a couple things documented.
Yeah.
And that way it's easy. It's easier to let them go if you've already handled it a couple times.
Okay.
Couple things to consider too when letting somebody go. If they do go off the rails on you, if they leave you a negative review, it's not that big of a deal, because usually it's not a reasonable negative review, and so it gives you an opportunity to respond with grace. Everybody will see right through what they're trying to post, and it's an opportunity for your character to shine through. So a negative review can be a good thing.
Yeah.
Or unemployment, that's what we pay unemployment taxes for.
Right.
I don't stress over that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long has he worked for you?
Since like very end of November. So, but he's been gone. So
I don't know if you've adopted this or if this is a part of your employment handbook, but if you copied the employment handbook from DYB, he should still be within the 90-day kind of probationary period, where
Yeah.
you don't really have to give him a reason necessarily, and where there's no real fault for you.
Yeah.
And I doubt that at that timetable he even qualifies for unemployment at this point.
Mhm.
Okay.
And maybe if it's really on your heart and you're really like, oh man, like the timing of this is really, I feel for the guy, maybe, hand him a couple $100 as a severance and be like, you know what, thank you so much for your time and your efforts. And, I don't want to leave you totally high and dry in the season. Here's a couple extra $100. Thank you for your efforts. It was a pleasure, but I just, we need to move on.
Yeah.
That's just my thought. I don't know. I mean, if that's in the budget, it's in the budget. If it's not in the budget, then the reality is like what you owe is to your future and your children and your household and your painters that are in good. I actually had to I had 3 with me, let one of them go. And it's one of those things where it's like, you know what? I have been that guy in the past, dude, who has not let people go for the exact reasons you're kind of like, well, I want, I like the guy and he's got kids or he's got this or something's going on. And then what ends up happening is that you would expect, then it sets that expectation in your heart that they're going to then like step up to the plate and they're going to appreciate the fact that they've been a little difficult, but you kept them along anyway and you've worked with them. And the truth of the matter is like, for some people, they can't count their blessings, no matter how good those blessings are, and this is a guy who I kind of bent over a little bit to make sure to accommodate some things and to get him working and to get some cash in his pocket. And he, on the first couple days, he was a rock star. And then like very shortly, all of a sudden my project supervisor comes over and is like, hey man, like, we're not hating, but you need to speed up. Like you're spending too much time on certain tasks and I need you to pick up the pace. And the guy basically looks at the guy. I have told him, this is your supervisor. It was like, Bryce is the boss. You're not the boss. And it's like, no, sir. No, that's not how we do it. And the truth is had I kept that guy along, that would have taken the 2 guys that have been rock stars and just really just poisoned the water.
Yeah. Yeah. No, super good point. Appreciate it.
And unfortunately, leadership's not always easy. We got to make tough choices, have tough conversations, and it's part of growth. So just know that you'll get through this one, and there'll be more as well.
Yeah.
But it's part of leadership, and you got our reps in. So you've got this. Your heart's in the right place, Isaac.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Shoot us a text in the group me chat. Let us know how that goes.
Okay.
And thank you, Florin. You're up.
Pretty much, pretty much the same situation because like I have 3 guys and I have 1 lady which has been in the past a problem, and I feel bad for her because she was like divorced with the husband and she got back with the husband, and I feel bad because she has 2 kids and she goes like, oh, my kids in school, I have to do this, my stomach hurt, and always the same problem. So it was like 2 weeks ago and she was like, oh, my stomach hurt, and the next day my kid is not good, this and that. So I said, something, I'm not very busy, stay home for a week, and she's fine on that. I mean, and then after a week she said, oh, can I come to work? I said, absolutely, yes. Well, she came back and I showed her, I said, listen, it's not going to work like that. I have so many things, responsibilities. It's like, do you want 40 hours a week? She goes, absolutely, yes. It's the same thing with me because I schedule things. I have to put people on the job site. And if you don't show up and screw up all my schedule and everything. And she goes like, yeah, I understand. So, and then yesterday she texted me and she said, oh, Wednesday I have to go, doctor, here's my confirmation. I said, whoa, hold on a minute. I said, it doesn't work like that. I've been saying, you guys, you have to give me a notice like 2 weeks before, especially like doctor appointments. I understand if you have emergency today for tomorrow, but you got to show me that you have a doctor appointment. In that case, that's fine. But still, you are talking today for Wednesday. And I said, for Wednesday, I have another person. She's not going to come because last week on Monday, she said to me, I'm going to immigration. And I understand. So the thing is like, I mean, do you have guys to show to everybody once somebody's not coming? Like, because pretty much they are working 3 guys in the same crew. That's what I have so far. Sometimes I split them 2 and 1 because they are small jobs. But she didn't know that lady, she's not coming on Wednesday. And then I said to her, it's not going to happen. So she said, I'll follow up with the doctor. And she called the doctor. And then after that, she goes like, oh, the doctor left me an appointment for tomorrow. I said to send my kids tomorrow. And I say, okay, you know something? Okay, whatever. I cannot deal anymore. So I come to the point like, I'm tired with her and I have to let her go because it's not working like that. It's like, I better find another person because it comes on the job side and is more productive. I mean, she's okay, but she's not in that expectation as I was talking to her in the beginning. So I don't know. What do you think, guys?
Haven't you been dealing with the same girl for months? Is
Yes.
this the same one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I
think
feel
you know.
bad. I'm same situation besides, it's like, I mean, how good you can be, and I feel bad because 2 kids. Now it's back with her husband, but she's the same situation, So, I'm come to the point like I have to let her go because it's not like.
I agree. Absolutely.
And the other thing is like, I have to make her sign papers, but it comes to that, whatever you mentioned before, the position of agreement. I mean, where can I find that? So make her sign. I don't want her to collect unemployment, That's another thing.
Yeah, well, the position agreement needs to be done ahead of time. It's not something that's in the end. It's something they get either when you first hire them or when you first get the position agreement and then have them do it. It's not a thing that you do at the end. It doesn't help at the end.
Well, I'm gonna give her like a week notice and say, something, I'm sorry, you better find another one because you can stay this week and that's it,
Okay. All right. And remember, chapter 7 of The Road Less Stupid says culture, you get what you tolerate. So
yes.
Protect the culture. It's very important. Juan, you're up.
So I wanna ask you guys, I don't know how many of you got that interior designer going, but what should I be asking, question for her when I interview, and how much time should I be paying for my clients? How you guys handle that?
Okay. So I'll share my experience, and then others who are working with them can share theirs. And then Sonia, the designer, can chime in as well. So for us, what we did was when we met with them, they were usually new or up and going or trying to get their book of clients together. And so we would work out an arrangement with them. I'd meet with them like you're going to do. And I'd say, listen, what I'd like to do is refer all my clients to you. And hopefully you'd cut me a break because this opens the door for you to do a lot of other work with them. And usually they did. It was $50 or $100 at a pop. And they would, I don't know if it would cover the first hour, but what I did is I wanted a set price so that I could take that and include it in my expenses so that it was covered when I offered it. So rather than how many hours, I just, a set price for introduction for you to come over and help them pick out their colors. And then, I'll let the customer know, say, listen, I'll pay for a decorator to come over for 1 hour, right? Let the customer know, say, listen, I'll let them come over for 1 hour. If you guys, decide to go on and meet with them beyond that, that's up to you guys, but I'll cover the first hour. And usually that takes care of what you need. And then you'll have a relationship with a great decorator too,
Okay.
I contracted with a colleague through here, and they were so I worked with them in addition to my paint business. So I worked out with them an agreement to where it was like $120 for up to an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty reasonable. And then they had, I don't know what I would imagine that their range of the clientele that qualified for it, they would include it in that service for a certain amount of service that they're going to provide, what 2,000 and on up or something like that. And then but that's how I went. And then they'd also throw me a bone and, say if they have this, then, you're more than welcome to, keep them as your client for other things that aren't paint related or color choice in that respect.
Yeah, good point, Sonia. Make sure you let them know, say, listen, and then any and everything they need decorating associated after that, you're welcome to. They're your client. The opportunity is to introduce and to you to more clients and, get your foot in the door to as much business that comes your way.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Steven. You're up.
So on the designer thing, I've been trying to find designers to work with us. And when I said I pay the first hour of their time, they kind of giggled at me and laughed at me and said, like I couldn't afford them or something. I don't know. One lady said she doesn't have the time for it. These were local people, and started to go back through the tip and the people there, and I'm trying to make appointments with some of them, but I'm having a hard time trying to lasso somebody to say, hey, let's do some business together. They're all kind of busy and
Mhm.
just
You check
maybe
your
they got their
local
own page.
chamber, networking events at the chamber for the new
I'm in
ones.
chamber, so that there's no designers in my local chamber. There are some in La Tip, but I did like go Google just in my area and the better areas, and they were all like, I don't have time for this, and they were like, look, I don't know, they're like really busy, but they're too busy to talk to me. So, but I offered a free, an hour paid for by me, and they were like, I don't got time for this.
You know who you might want to try is some college students, because that's there's and there's also this program. I mean, if you're open to it, because this one that I worked through, they would put their employees, but they weren't full-time, and they were students, and they would pay for this program, certifies them as color consultants. So they're not designers, they're specifically color consultants. And so maybe some college students that are open to it, say, you know what, I'm looking for this, and kind of just give them that option, and then show them. I mean, that's an option. I would go that way if you want to kind of, because they're wanting to get their name out there.
Okay, maybe I'll try.
Facebook groups might be a good idea too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it without advertising. I have everything off, and like I said, we're rolling. I'm not rolling big time, but I have more time to go fishing for stuff like this because my phone's not blowing up, and I'm not going out on 6 or 8 appointments a day of people who want cheap price. So I'm trying to fish the other way. I'm working my La Tip and Rotary. Rotary's been pretty cool for me. We're also doing a gift of life. We're taking a person from. I think she's from Grenada. She'll be here for December 27th. She's having heart surgery. Her 4-year-old daughter's having heart surgery. And they're going to come and stay with us until they heal, which is pretty cool. I feel good about that. It's a give back. So Rotary will, I've been going to a lot of Rotary things and getting blasted, because not blasted, but they're actually, saying, hey, Stephen and Martha are taking care of this person. So definitely getting recognition from it. I'm not looking for that, but it definitely is helping my recognition and growth in Rotary for me. But yeah, what I'm doing is try to make it all work.
Okay, awesome. Right on. Thank you, Stephen. James, you're up.
Something I can use help in. I guess kind of locking down commercial pricing. I've raised my prices a little bit from doing regular residential, because usually commercial should be paying more. And what bothers me is I've gotten on a couple times where they're like, yeah, we'll use you again. You got really good prices. And I'm like, I hate to hear that. You know what I mean? So I want to know, like I'm usually higher end on the pricing for residential, and I'm still making money regardless. But I know commercial can make you a lot more money. So, and I'm doing a lot of direct to owner, a little bit with the GCs, not too much, because that's a race to the bottom. So I'm trying to figure out how do I figure out what's the best way to go about finding the market value for commercial work, because it varies so much depending. If I ask you, someone lives in New York or California or this or that, it's going to be one scale to the next. So it's how can I lock that in without blowing away a proportion and this and that? We're doing a Burger King here, and we got that, and it was just a small interior repaint, which now is tripled in size. But he said the same thing to me, and it just drives me nuts. Yeah, we'll probably use you again. You have great prices for your stuff. And I'm like, crap.
So usually every time you win a bid, you ask them, say, hey, what were the other numbers?
That's an idea.
Some of them won't give them to you.
Well, so what? Hold on. You're already at no. Remember the principle of no? You can't get any more
no.
than what you are.
They're no longer your friend.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get any more no. So you might as well ask.
Okay.
And I don't know if we ever lock them in, but that'll kind of give you an idea of, where you were on that one. For those that'll share.
I don't know if everybody else does, but I mean, I use software, but off the top of my head, I try to run $10 a square foot, just off the top, a quick reference. I don't know if that works or if it doesn't work, but you just try to price it out per day, per guy kind of thing. I'm not looking to kill them. I'm just looking to keep everybody moving.
Okay, because I'm trying to look more well, I guess production, but just look with a better hourly rate. Like, should I be 100, 120 an hour up there, kind of thing? So, for instance, this summer, like there was an exterior block wall, and nothing crazy. Priced it out for like $15,000, and I'm like, I could paint this thing for $7,000. And the girl, and I'm like, so she loved the presentation with Paint Scout and everything like that. And I'm like, so I asked, I said, you know, where do I sit with everybody else? And she's like, down here. And I'm like, she's like, oh, local, you know, you can do it cheaper, kind of thing. And I'm like, well, the other people that came in were from Ottawa, a little bit more of a drive, but not by much. So like for me to be, and I'm still thinking that I'm doing it for a lot higher than I would normally do it for any residential client. So like that's what's driving me nuts, is there's money on the table. I'm leaving there.
Yeah, ask him. So, you know, it was good that she said that, but just say, hey, what were the other numbers?
Yeah.
And just
Okay.
kind of be direct about it. Be direct. Just kind of like it's a normal question.
And it sounds like if you're it sounds like if you're competing against somebody that's coming from out of town, like they're paying their guys like travel time, hotel, and stuff like that. So there's much more wiggle room in those to pop the price up a touch.
The blessing is you got the job and they didn't.
Yeah, true.
It sucks when you do all that work and you don't get the job. You spend hours. So
yeah,
I'm not a fan for working for free, but I'd rather work than not work sometimes.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you're hitting your mark, you're hitting your mark. I mean, you know, everybody has their own set of expenses. If you don't have the overhead that the other guy has, then you could do for less.
Like we're still doing the profits great and everything like that, but like I say, if I can up it, I want to up it.
Yeah, I got it. Trust me. You can actually, when you see, my theory is once you get in, you can always upsell them on all different things. Like, I mean, we do lighting, we do flooring, we do doors, we do trim. So, you know, sometimes it doesn't hurt to take a little bit less, but when you're in there, you know, then you get the referral for everything else for later on. You know, I want my kitchen, bathroom, blah, 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 blah. You got 10 years of work out of them. So,
yeah.
You know,
okay.
Sometimes less is more.
All right. Very good. And in the meantime, just, you know, keep inching your price up.
Yeah.
While you're asking them.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't hurt until you hear somebody say, hey, you know, someone's coming in a little bit lower than you or this or that. And
right.
So you can kind of have an idea. So, all right. That's kind of what I've been doing anyways, is kind of just biting a little bit more until I hear a little bit of negative feedback on pricing or something. But
yeah, keep biting to hear ouch.
Yeah.
All right.
Most people tell me I'm the most expensive guy out there, which is good, but you know, sometimes I lose jobs because of it. And that doesn't make me happy either. So
okay,
good deal. Hey, Jesus, you're up, buddy.
Yes, I've been thinking, what do I have going on new, but not much. But I guess I do have one question here. I would say something that came up to mind. It's when my team lead brings in a job that's profitable, should I only be giving him the bonuses or tip and not the other members? I do give tips to the other members, but mainly the bonus to the team lead. Is that fair or not fair?
Yeah, that's what we did, because it's the lead's responsibility to bring it in.
Okay.
And then sometimes it's up to them too if they want to split it or share it with their team, which gives them an opportunity to flex, you know, leadership.
Was that something you would tell them as well too, Steve? It's up to you if you want to share it.
Yeah, sometimes I kind of wait and see if they do it on their own.
Yeah.
If they don't, I say, you know, you're welcome to share it with your team if you want to thank them.
Okay. Sounds good. And then one more question, very small. Have you guys ever used the free Sherwin-Williams color consultation?
We don't have it in our area.
Okay. Yeah, one of my sales reps said he gave me an application form to fill it in, and he said if I like to add that free link into my website, I can go ahead and do it as well. So far, I have sent it to like 2 customers. They like it. It's free too. So
before I connected with a designer in my town, I was giving people the sheet that the reps give you, and then it has the link or QR code on it. And I think I had a few people do it, but I like working with the designer because then that's more connection points in the community. But it is sure if you don't want to pay for the designer, just to have that in your back pocket.
Okay.
It's like the free 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a bad deal.
Okay. Craig.
I don't have much to unpack.
Okay.
I just need to get my 2024 budget done. So
Yeah.
so that's the big thing, and sort of vision casting for 2024. I'm just looking at my 2023 budget, which is just by my computer screen, and I had an audacious, a fairly good goal for growth this year, and missed it by a bit. So I'm just sort of wondering if I should add another 50% on, if I should double. I know Steve likes doubling. So just
Yeah, sometimes doubling means, DYB can stand for bottom line too. Because one of our values is profits, right? Sales are for show, profit is for dough.
Yep.
And so, like, for example, I've got a client who's doing over 2 million, and so our goal is to literally double his bottom line. We're fine if the top line grows, but that's not our focus. Our focus is to refine and double the bottom line. So that can be the target as well. What can get you there? And ultimately, what's your goal? And it's okay not to hit goals. In fact, it's a good thing not to hit goals, because if you hit every goal you set, did you really stretch? Right?
Yeah.
So keep setting those BHAGs that keep you stretching, but ultimately, it's the bottom line that truly matters.
Yeah, I think I will definitely, based on where my business is, need to increase the top line to increase the bottom line.
That's fine too. Yeah. Right on.
Yeah, just to sort of spread those fixed expenses over a larger gross revenue.
Now you want to take that and break it out over your scoreboard. So that way, because you have your lead and your lagging indicators. Your lagging indicators are the sales, the revenue that you did. Your leading indicators is everything you have to do to achieve those results. So make sure you fill out your scoreboard so that you know how much more you need to do to achieve those.
Craig, are you mainly are you looking to grow like sales too as well, or just your profits and all that stuff?
I think I need to grow sales as well in order to have a significant push on the profits.
Okay, and you're mainly employee based?
So I have 3 employees, and I'm still working in the field doing projects. So.
Because what I found to help grow and the profits too is like try to find yourself at least one good like sub if you want to, if you're looking to go that way, because like we were able to take on so many more projects at one time when we did subs, but we vet them pretty good. A lot of our subs are almost like dedicated to us, like almost like an employee kind of thing, but they still do their own stuff. And we started off paying them 50% and then covering material, and then going down to 45% and still covering material. And now I'm looking to probably pay them going out this year 40%. And we're netting at the end of everything, like all expenses, everything like that. 25% is what we're doing for profits and stuff. So and then up on some projects with the subs. Like it's a give and take kind of thing. Like, you could be losing money if they get it done quick, but then you're not losing money if they're going slow. You're not paying for touch-ups going back. So like that's one thing that helped us grow quite a bit, kind of thing.
So how was that conversation when you said, oh, by the way, you were getting 50% of this job, now you're down to 45?
Well, they don't see my prices on my side at all.
Okay.
I just send them the work order. They have no idea if the bedroom costs $600 or $1,200 kind of thing. You know what I mean? and stuff like that. So that's just what I'm cutting going forward, kind of thing. And I've been slowly kind of working it down, and then yeah, that's I'm not going to go any lower than 40, but that's where I feel comfortable for upping profits a little bit even more this year, kind of thing. So
right, because if you can increase your charge rate, then part of that can go to you and part of that can go to them.
Yeah. So that's something. I have a sub agreement if you're interested in doing that for the coming year. And then I have another form that they fill out that lists all their the equipment that they have. Can they do wallpaper? Do they have sprayers? Do they have power washers? Yada yada yada. What can they do? And then I have them put in Monday under what skills they have and what they can do. So if I'm looking for a wallpaper, I know I can grab out of this guy. I can grab we're starting to do a little bit more too as well. So I have an electrician that can do like pot lights when we do stipple removal. I have a bunch of them categorized for these guys do stipple, these guys don't. So it's just interior painting, or these guys just do interior, these guys just do exterior, yada, yada, yada. And then it's easy. You can look through the group and you can pick, book, and it's been working for us, kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how do you find most of your subs?
Some of them are referrals from like other people that have had great experiences with them. Your paint rep at the store, and then we've put out ads looking for people too as well. And then they've reached out to us, and then we go through a little bit of a process from looking at past work. We like to see what kind of vehicle they drive, so we know they're not pulling up in something that's like kind of thing. And then we always start them off on like a kind of almost like a tester project. I'm not going to throw them in on a huge project right away. And there's a little bit of a ways. I have a form on that too as well, that I go through in the steps, so I can send that off to you too as well. I don't do much of the vetting. The project manager here, he does most of it for me, and then gives me an idea, and then we sit down and have a chat with them. So
nice. Yeah, that's a good option. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, Sonia, you're up.
Aside from wash hair day, I'm like, and picture day, what? No. I have mine's, I guess it's like contractor weekday, or just this employee or thing. Mine is more like, we've gone through the production rate, class and estimating class, and I've broken down the numbers for my husband's like kind of in charge of like hiring the crews, and I've gotten better at who I select, and those crews run smooth, and I'm not worried, they're not going, can I have more money? Can I have more money? And that's where his crews, I want more money. I want more money. Like, it's like, we offered you this is how much it is. And then here's my justification. I have my numbers. And so I showed my husband this, and he's like, okay. Cause he goes, well, so-and-so was asking for whatever for this job. I go, he's going to bang that out in 2-3 days, and I calculated on this much, and still he's going to do well. And so that's just the only thing I'm having right now is getting more, traffic, getting more jobs out there, but then the workers, because I know, and anyways, that's what it is how do I deal with that? And this is how much we said, you agreed to it, and now they're like, I want more, it was bigger than we thought. I go, no, it's not. Anyways.
Sounds like they're not a good fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to go. Too much conversation.
Maybe you need to be doing the hiring.
Yeah, I had a few, and I'm doing fine with them. And the other ones that the little tuk, cars and everything coming. that's what we get it when he picks them. That's when you said that. I go,
You should fire your husband on the hiring part.
I think so. Yeah,
that's what you need to do.
You go
or get him on the same page as you.
That's true. Like I had to show him, look, this is my justification. This is it. And so he, I go, no more discussion. And so he just walked away. It was so funny. But I was like,
Pretty much it. No more discussion.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So what I'll have, for curly hair people, I just get dilemma for this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys. Yes. That's all I pretty much have right now.
All right. Let's roll out with takeaways and friendly reminder everybody to hang out afterwards for a quick photo. Bryce, you're up.
We
Oh,
need
it did my
to
hair.
we need to, whenever I generate a work order, I need to walk it through the guys and make sure that we're diligent about everybody understanding exactly what's going on. And that also means I need to make sure that when I'm writing the estimates that I have the work order in mind, that it's clear and easy and understandable.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Thank you, Bryce. Daryl?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page. I have a note on there that I actually need to create a checklist on my SOPs, maybe in my SOPs, about each particular project, what items are needed. I mean, because like yesterday, my guys are just really busy, so I'm not mad at them, but they forgot a 5-gallon bucket. So someone had to go to Sherwin to get a 5-gallon bucket. I mean, come on, we're working in a bedroom. We know that somebody thought the other guy had one. So yeah, but that's on me because I didn't create a better system. So I'm working on that.
Way to own it. Way to keep it above the line. There you
Systems.
go. Now you have the power to change it. Yes, sir. Isaac, takeaways.
Yeah, you get what you tolerate as far as culture. And so I think I'm just going to have a conversation and have it be less emotional and more
Today, Isaac.
logical. So pray for me.
There you go. Indeed. Florin.
Well, same thing. I mean, she's gonna come tomorrow. She comes tomorrow. I'm gonna give her like a week notice. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not the right fit for my company. So try to find another one. Meantime, you have a week to work with us. So should be plenty of time for her to work. Also, I have another friend which probably I might send her there, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
You know, so I feel bad, but nothing I can do. I cannot pay for my pocket for the rest of my life. It's too much, you know.
Indeed. All right. Thank you, Florin. Juan?
Well, for me, what I pick up my attention for position agreement document, I'm gonna look into that, and subcontractors. I'm gonna look into subcontractors too.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Juan. Steven?
Throwing the subs, when you discuss the split with them, do you walk the job with them after, like, you sign a contract with the customer, so you bring your sub back into the project and say, let's take a look at this? Or how do you kind of have a conversation with them to say 40, 50, 10%, whatever it is? How do you have that conversation? I'm kind of curious, but that was one of the things for that. And free color consulting from Sherwin. The link, I just rebuilt my website, so I'm going to plop that on there. And the sub agreements, I actually found the sub conversation very helpful because I really don't use subs. But my biggest thing is how do you have a conversation with them what the job is worth?
Yeah, well, after the meeting, you and James could probably
avoid that other conversation, you know, when they don't like the price and they need more.
There you go. Yeah, James, after the meeting, James, you and James could probably connect. He'd be happy to share with you.
Okay.
All right. James, takeaway.
Oh, there you go, on mute. Takeaways. Probably to I asked the residential clients and not so much the commercial, so I should get in there and just say, hey, what's your deciding factor? How did I compare to other bids, you know, and see if I can get the numbers and see where I can improve on my bidding on my side in the future.
Yep. And again, I just want to reiterate, be direct, say, what were the other numbers? Okay. Quote unquote, what were the other numbers? Good thing in the commercial business is most of it's direct. So it's, you know, residential, it's a little, you have to soften a little bit, but commercial, to say, what were the other numbers?
And for the most part, they're not going to worry about that. So yeah, I guess. Yeah.
We're already at no, you know?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Cool. Jesus?
Yes. I like what you said here to Craig here, Steve. You mentioned that the doubling can also be done by doubling the bottom line as well too, by increasing it. I like that.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you, Jesus. Craig?
Actually, what I got most is the position agreement and just the necessity to have that and have all the I's dotted and T's crossed so that if and when people have to be let go, there's just cause and you know, lots of paperwork. And Isaac, you can do this.
Yes.
When you have to kill somebody, you want to slit their throat with a sharp knife instead of a butter knife. That's the most humane way to do it. So
There's no emotion in business. Just get rid of them.
use a sharp knife. Just don't try and butcher them with a butter knife.
For sure. For
Sorry,
sure.
that's a little morbid.
All right, Sonia, bring us back.
All right, 2024 budget goals, the Road Less Stupid, chapter 7, and then I'm gonna continue eating that frog book. I'm really liking it. It's really helping, get some actionable, profitable, actionable items going.
Yeah, right on. I think Brian Tracy, I think Daryl mentioned that last meeting. So
Yes, thank you.
fantastic. Yes. All right. This concludes MG11 for 2023. We'll see you all next year. But until then, I want to encourage you to continue to dream bigger, hustle smarter. You've got
You
this.
got this.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
The
Wait, did you take the photo already?